Good morning, brother. Gum Bunny and Shockwave. Snorta Poopa Scuba, my favorite polar bear on YouTube. It's Man Squatch. Wait a minute. Is that it? Is that the end? Is it early?
That can't be all.
Oh, it's not all. Penny! The Cotton from Cotton Ministries is here. Jill Powers, the River Daughter. The Mad Doctor and Dig Outlaw. Psychodorp 9. Walter Tomascu. Mephisto's Movie Reviews. Roll Tide, brother, roll tide. It's time to wake the neighbor's voice with Southern Viking. Chris Perna, the wrench of wrenches. The immortal Ghost Rider. Tyrannus Cygnus. The Muppet from another puppet showback, TJC. Mary's Game Room. The Lady Arwen Avalon. Blood Guilty Gaming, Joe Dog. Dave G Sound. Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Zero Hour here on Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Loki. Good morning, everybody, and of course, my co-host this morning, the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Zeropium. He likes to teabag and Vulcan. What is up, brother? How are you doing?
I'm doing great, brother. How are you? Fist bump for the working man, starting the morning up. Away we go. That was horribly off target, but that's what happens when we do it live. Great to see you all. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. Welcome to another fantastic week of mischief here on your Mornings of Mischief. And real quick, big shout out to Snowdub and crew again this Saturday for tossing shells and raising hell with our fantastic Mario antics. Hey, you guys really stepped up your game this week. The competition was fierce. I loved it. Big thank you to all of you.
You've been enjoying that, huh?
It's been good. Well, I mean, it's a hell of a lot better than racing against NPCs and horrible people that make me look like utter crap online. So it's been a lot of fun. So big thanks to Snowdub for keeping me entertained on Saturday nights with his streams and his live runs of Mario Kart with Cotton Council and crew and all those crazy bastards kicking it. So lots of fun.
I almost made it to that this Saturday, but I didn't make it to the Mario Kart. I made it to the stream, but I didn't make it to the Mario Kart.
Yeah, but you're missing out on some fun, brother. But you guys tune in, check it out, watch all the crazy shit going on. But anyway, hope you're all doing fantastic. I'm feeling all right. I know he's feeling all right. So we're gonna kick it live.
That's right. The lovely Leia Rose is here. Good morning, Leia. How are you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. Dave G Sound. What is up, brother? Good to see you. Good to see you. He said, I wish to be cordial and good.
The goodliest.
You can do that. You can totally do that.
You've got the power.
Get good, Zero.
Hey, you know what? I am
GG,
good.
bitch. GG.
I am good. I'm talking about the other ones online who have just mastered the tactics and exploits and cheats and all that kind of jazz. But yeah,
Puddle Jumper, I'm glad to see you. I'm glad it's finally recommending again.
excellent.
I'm glad. They were probably looking at me going, we ought to shut this show down.
I just
They don't have a girl boss that takes advantage of them. We're going to be talking about that here in just a minute.
Like tears in the rain.
He calls it a lawsuit. I call it a relationship.
I call it entertainment.
Ironcaster says, if you think Mario Kart is nuts, just wait till we do Mario Party.
Oh God, is Donkey Kong still a cheat code for that game? I haven't played since Superstars, but you've piqued my interest now, my friend.
He was pissed, Walter. Oh boy, was he pissed. Oh man, Mim was so that's not a lantern. Oh boy, he's like, I can't believe you did that. I said, well, it wasn't me.
Wow, that's great.
Oh, a little fun with Mexican Iron Man over the weekend. Never
a little fun?
except for Mexican Iron Man. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Hope everybody is doing well. Hope you are kicking ass and taking names. Dean Krantz in the door says, Zero, you and Arwen have lived rent-free in my head all weekend. She mentioned you doing the fan dance dressed as Uhura.
Talking about me behind my back, Arwen. Never wise. Now, where did that all come from? Somebody, those of you in chat, fill me in. Loki's pleading the fifth right now, as per usual.
No. I'm saying it was me. It was me. It was me.
God.
No, I was talking about how, you'd go over to Drosna and be like,
oh,
with your little Vulcan engineering officer.
Can I do that on YouTube? I just did that. I can't believe it. Yeah. Drozana Station. It was, I tell you, it was an entertaining place to play Dabo. There was never a dull moment on the table.
Speaking of never a dull moment, we've got a couple of things we're gonna throw your guys' way this morning. So go ahead.
Kizzy says I'm pretty. Do I know you from somewhere? I don't know. That's weird. You need to get your eyes checked, my friend. Sorry.
So Washington state lawmaker bullied a male aide into sex, then made him run errands and tried to fire him when he reported her, a lawsuit claims. I'm sorry, but a female taking you to bed and then having you do her errands and chores for her, that's called a relationship, bucko.
Now I get it. Now I get it. Well, how did they state the age of the people involved?
Oh yeah, Emily Klaus, who we will pull a picture of up here in just a minute, is said to have begun a mutually consensual dating relationship with the unnamed man after being elected as a commissioner in Thurston County, which includes the state's capital of Olympia. But the aide also, alleges he felt unable to reject Klaus's advances because of the power she held over him. Can you say pussy? And says he found the romance incredibly unwelcome. What is going on with men today?
Incredibly unwelcome. So she says it was consensual. He says it was unwelcome. Am I reading that right? Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes. He said it was unwelcome. She said it was consensual, but he was having sex with her and running errands for her. I'm sorry, but to any normal person, that's a relationship.
Well, I mean, for better, for worse, yeah, kind of sounds like it. I mean, if she is an authoritative figure with the power, with the power of Grayskull, to wish upon thee that this relationship is as alleged consensual, and he says it's not, what's going on behind the scenes there? Is he, for lack of a better term, having his manhood threatened? Oh, hello, Emily Klaus. My name is Hans. I mean, is it a power struggle from within? Is it a battle of the sexes? I don't understand this. If she's got the power to wield and inform and demand that this relationship is consensual, and he says it's not, there's obviously something else going on here. And my question is, how long did he go along with this? And why was something not done about it sooner? Is the
I was
power
like, I don't buy a second of that shit.
Yeah.
What an absolute load of bullshit.
the power to speak out and stand up for yourself in a free country? Does that just not work anymore? I don't understand it. Relationships, they're difficult.
The dude's a pud. The
Well-
dude's a pud. We've got a picture of her now. Aside from the metal in this chick's face and this whatever this is over here, I mean, it looks like hair, but I can't really tell.
Who knows? She's
besides the metal
definitely-
in her face and this shit, she's kind of cute.
I was going to say, I mean, she's not a bad looking woman. You know, I mean, I'm not usually a fan of bolts through the face and multicolored hair. I mean, it just looks like a pile of pre-chewed Skittles to me personally. But hey, if you're into that, that's cool. I'm just not into that personally. I'm not going to call someone ugly or stupid for sporting that look. You know, that's just my own personal taste. I would never personally do that. She's not a bad looking woman. I'm just saying, in this so-called consensual relationship, what is going on here? This is why I avoid.
Shelley's
anything
like, you
like
said
this.
the state of Washington, being a resident, this does not surprise me. There were that many male just puds running around that just like, he tapped me in a corner. What kind of guy are you? Seriously,
Yeah,
what kind of guy are you?
I don't understand it. I mean, since the dawn of man and the dawn of man's internet, I've always been thinking, guys, stop being simps for the stupidest reasons out there. I mean, you should be better than that. You should know better. Like throwing OnlyFans money around, simping for girls because they look at you funny and call you a rock star. Man, like have some self-respect. And if you don't have any, learn how to get some. Get help. Be better than a simp. Be better than a cuck. Be better than what they tell you to be. I don't get it. Well, she's got all the power. Dude, just get out. Get out of the relationship. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. You have a choice, and you made it. You chose to stick it out. Why? Because you were clinging to a little glimmer of hope in the distant future? No. I mean, if she's showing her true colors, and I'm not talking hair, right from the start, she's either establishing some ground rules that she's going to make you live with, or she's just an evil person. Get out.
Cotton says no guy did that. Oh! You're about to hear some more. It's bullshit. And if you're stupid enough to believe it, you probably voted for Kamala. She's just weird, straight up. Elizabeth Young. Those nose piercings must suck when you have a cold.
Oh, good God.
Find a good woman and work out all the prony stuff together. It's not that deep. Well, maybe she's not that deep, or maybe he didn't get that deep. But I mean, apparently he got deep enough. The statement that was put out says it was clear to the plaintiff that if the plaintiff wanted to remain employed, he would need to continue his personal, intimate relationship of a sexual nature with Commissioner Klaus. Klaus is said to have exploited the man into driving her around, girlfriend, buying her food and drinks, girlfriend, giving her cash, which he said was never repaid, girlfriend. 3 strikes, buddy. 3 strikes. That means girlfriend. Girlfriend. Girlfriend.
So, did she actually wield that little bit over him saying, you need to keep seeing me if you want to remain employed, does that not usually go against any company's code of morals and ethics within the workplace? Isn't that a violation of some sort? Am I wrong? Am I just so out of touch none of those rules need apply anymore?
He's branded her an abuser and reported her behavior to Thurston Thursday County's Human Resources Department. Klaus, who was sworn into her role on November 2023, tried to fire him 30 minutes later, subsequently accused the aide of sexually assaulting her. The aide says other Thurston County officials tried to suppress his claims, allegedly asking him what amount of money it would take to make his claims go away. He was put on administrative leave, which the aide says gave him the impression of being guilty of wrongdoing.
Well,
what a
super puss.
You're in a relationship. You walked into that. I guarantee you this is what happened. He got the job. He reported for work. She was like, I've been feeling fine, baby. It's been so long. And he was like, screw it, work with benefits. And then he did it. And then she was like, afterwards, she was like, eat my kitty cat afterward. And he was like, and she was like, if you want your job, you will. And he was like, oh my God. And
oh my God.
Fucking soy boy actually did it.
There's one. I just don't understand. I mean, I know everybody in that position or who has been in that position has a potential to feel that way, like entrapment or there's no way out, or they feel like they're not gonna get taken seriously if they speak out or stand up for themselves or anything like that. I understand that's a difficult struggle, but at the end of the day, right at the beginning, he still had a choice. He had a choice and he made it. And I understand there's a lot that's going on there with all the ramifications that are, getting plowed in the field that came from that. But there's always a choice. There's always a choice. There's always a risk. Guys like that in that position, or anybody else for that matter, y'all know what I'm talking about. Everyone in their lives is going to get presented with opportunities and temptations. And they need to be smart enough to realize and differentiate which is which and pick what they think is best for them after considering all the possibilities that come from that.
Shellback TJC says women up here can most definitely be like that in the Pacific Northwest. The whole left coast, actually. Hashtag blame blue states. Ironcaster brings up a really good point. Would we be saying this if the genders were reversed? Here's the deal. They're one-on-one. It's not like there's a whole harem of women here that grabbed him and made him do what he did. Okay. This is a small woman. She is not an Amazonian. She is not China from the WWE. She is not like, you will do what I want. No, this is a little itty bitty girl. But yes, she was in the army, but still, she is a little itty bitty girl. And this is not like she forced him into the back room and made him get wood. No. Let me tell you something. If a guy doesn't want wood, as long as he's not like 15 years old, a guy's not going to get wood. It's not like it's something that's just like, oh, it just happened, Loki. No, it didn't. It didn't. If you did, then you wanted some of that.
Yeah.
It's not just.
No, I mean, contrary to popular belief, here's our sex joke for the day. Contrary to popular belief, men do have to be in a mood. It used to be that, women need to be in the mood and they need to be with the right person. Guys just need a place. They just need a place to do it. That's it. No, that's not how it is. Men of a certain age, they need to be in the mood. And if there's no mood, There's nothing going on down there. And I want to go back to what Ironcaster said for a second about if the positions were reversed, because I was thinking about that earlier. So that's a really good point. And the genders that play into this, for me personally, are irrelevant. It's all about who is in the power, who has the power, who's wielding that power, and who's forcing the other to do a thing. Because my own moral code says people in power cannot do that. Now, regardless of if he spoke up or not, or didn't defend himself, or is just now starting to do so, that's his choice. But my own moral compass points to the direction that says, regardless of who is in the position of power, should know better. But sometimes power just corrupts people.
And I'd like to address what Ghostwriter is saying. Arousal is an involuntary response, Loki. Tell that to my ex. When her boyfriend told him to get in the kitchen and make him a sandwich, he knew the fun was over.
Yeah.
So, Klaus's lawyer, Maya Robbins, said that Klaus had just recently ended a relationship with a colleague, but did not specify if it was the aide in question. Both the dating relationship and the employment relationship recently ended. The county has chosen to investigate the relationship out of an abundance of caution. An abundance of caution.
An abundance of caution.
The suit says the combination of Klaus's and Thurston Kent County's alleged behavior caused the aide's prolonged stress, physical harm, emotional distress, embarrassment, trauma, and humiliation. He's suing for $750,000.
Damn, I'm surprised he didn't break 7 figures on that one. Why not go for it? It seems like the slightest of things that happen today, they'll just go for the maximum.
Erectile dysfunction is curable without the use of medication. Turns out you're just not supposed to fuck the same miserable bitch for the rest of your life.
Wow. Is there?
He's not wrong.
There's probably a history there. Yeah, he's definitely not wrong. But I mean, you know, that's the thing. Are you if you're in a relationship like that, and I'm sure many of you, you know, maybe you've been there, maybe you know what I'm talking about, maybe you can relate. But if you're with the same miserable bitch for so long, are you just so programmed and robotic by that point when you know it's time to put the motion of the ocean to work there? Does it just go up automatically? I mean, I don't understand it, because me personally, I would think that would just kill any drive that I have left in my system at this point. I don't understand it.
Thurston Howe County sounds quite fancy. They can afford it. I bet you they can. So a second suit was filed because apparently Thurston County's board didn't take it seriously enough when he went to them and made these claims. I mean, if I was on the board and some dude came up like my boss, she's a lawmaker here. She continually takes advantage of my pee-pee and makes me run errands for her. I'd be like, so she's your girlfriend?
Yeah. She's your girlfriend.
That'd be my first response. So she's your girlfriend.
I mean, you know, traditionally speaking, that's what it sounds like. I don't know. But you know, like, I'm not involved with anyone, ladies and gents. I'm probably the last person to look for relationship advice. But hey, that's just my own personal opinion.
So Klaus was suspended from all of her duties in August when the probe, which I bet you she probed him multiple times, launched into her alleged abuse. She remains in boat. No wonder he's suing. His asshole's sorry.
Well, what? It's not. Well, I mean,
it's sore. Scrape this on your sore ass, bitch.
My God,
she remains a voting member of Thurston County's Board of Commissioners, but has been banned from representing the county in public. Yeah, she pegged him.
I wonder if it got to the point I can't do it anymore. I just can't do it. Yes, you can. No, I physically can't. Every time I fart, it sounds like this.
Trapped in a situation. That's right. Because they may have emotional damage.
Yeah. I mean, because honestly, realistically speaking, ladies and gentlemen, we're not here to judge people completely based on things we don't know the true story of. I mean, you can have an expose, an investigation, all those details can come to light over time as it happens. But until you get it, I mean, if you're not there, you don't completely know. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going down in the bedroom, behind the scenes, running errands, doing all that stuff. Until we know that, we don't know for sure. But it's a tough position to be in.
Arwen says if someone stays with a miserable bitch for that long, the problem is not just the miserable bitch, but the person who stays in it that long.
Exactly.
I'm totally 100%. I agree with that. And I was guilty of that. I was guilty of that for 7 years.
Been there.
God help me. I was guilty
it's
of
rough.
That. So
it's rough. Maybe it's, maybe it's a deep down fear. You don't want to admit that you're afraid to be alone, or you're just comfortable being with someone, no matter what they do to you mentally or physically, for that matter. We've all seen weird cases of that shit going on.
I remember helping pack shit up and getting screamed at. What are you doing? I'm helping you pack. I'm trying to be nice and I'm being helpful and I'm helping you pack. I remember carrying shit out to the truck. What are you doing? I'm helping you leave. And I remember putting my feet up, leaning back and going, thank you, God, when it was over and the bitch was gone.
Was that the one that I was privy to way back then? Or was that before? Oh man. Woo! We have deets we won't get into. Love advice. Don't get connected. Yeah, good idea there. Yeah, it's weird. But to go back to what Arwen said, or what we've all been thinking this whole time, maybe the problem isn't being the miserable bitch themselves. It also has a lot to do with who is allowing themselves to stay in that position. And again, like we said, there's 1,000,001 reasons why they would put themselves in a situation like that and stay there. Maybe they don't want to be alone. Maybe they think it's never going to get any better than this. Maybe I'm not good enough to find someone better. You never know. There's 1,000,000 reasons out there. But when it all boils down to it, you still have a choice. Some people may not know how to come to that conclusion or make that choice themselves, but there's always the option.
Andy Masterson with the win this morning says she was buns up kneeling and I was wheeling and dealing and surrendered to the feeling and started to the squealing.
Oh my.
Andy, good morning. Welcome.
A poet.
Master craftsman, Andy Masterson, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Arwen agrees with you.
Well, of course she does. I just paraphrased everything she just said. I'm such an unoriginal bastard,
So,
but we've all been there.
Klaus remains a voting member of the county's board of commissioners, but has been banned from representing the county in public. They vowed to release a report into the allegations by September, but still have not released anything. Klaus tried and failed to get herself reinstated to all her appointments last week. Her lawyer, Maya Robinson, branded the aide's allegations fiction. Robbins added, the allegations in complaint are absurd and on their face have already been dispelled by an internal workplace investigation. That doesn't matter. You see, you guys open the fucking doors. All of you dirty fucks out there that open the doors to getting rid of people, even with internal investigations, and they're just gone. All those dudes that were on shows that are gone, that got canceled. I'm thinking about you, Expanse, for canceling my boy that I can't even remember the name of now. That was absolutely positively badass. The only reason why you guys got picked up and brought back by Amazon was this motherfucker went out there and fought for you, and you got rid of him and just threw him out the door because of accusations that were not proven, that were never released. You guys open the fucking door to this. So now that you've opened your door, you've opened the door and you've let all this out. Too bad.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Klaus's official website describes her as a lifelong resident of Thurston County, an Army veteran who served as a military intelligence analyst. If she was in military intelligence, damn. After leaving the military, Klaus returned home to help manage her family's business. She subsequently obtained a bachelor's degree in psychology from the University of Washington, Tacoma, and subsequently used that to take advantage of her poor, helpless male intern. Klaus's political interests include helping rehabilitate young offenders and support for homeless people.
So, I'm not trying to jump to a conclusion here, and I'm going to use a word that is probably going to be very controversial. But when you have someone like that, regardless of who they are, guy, girl, pig, moose, whatever, what was her job title in the military again?
Oh, she was a military intelligence analyst.
Military intelligence analyst. All right. Pretty damn impressive. Psychology. All right. Working with rehabilitation clinics, learning how to, build people back up. I'm going to use a very controversial word here. And again, doesn't necessarily apply to her, but it sounds a lot like, and no offense, this is not meant to be controversial or offensive, but it sounds a lot like this person would be very well trained in knowing how to groom somebody.
Yes.
It's a very deadly weapon. It's a very deadly combination. When you give someone the keys to the kingdom like that and they know how to do it, there's always a risk that something bad is going to happen.
And why is it always the girl bosses that come out and use it as a weapon? Cotton's absolutely right. Me Too was a good idea, but it was immediately weaponized and used to get rid of people and to end people. And people were so afraid of being labeled as not taking something serious that anybody that got accused was immediately wiped off the face of the map. That's the freaking problem. Is that anybody that was accused was immediately wiped off the face of the map. Let me tell you something. Text messages, DMs, all that shit can be spoofed. They can be created. They can be recreated. Something, and I don't know if you've heard about this, Zero, but I'll bring it up again. The Vince McMahon allegations, right? You read through all that. You read through the whole thing, all the stuff, right?
67
you
pages.
Saw the text messages, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the key thing. We saw for better for worse one side of the text messages. In the documentation was released, we had alleged messages. Well, that's what I'm getting to. We had Vincent Kennedy McMahon's alleged messages, and we had a salt and pepper array of her responses. But I mean, if you take that individual case into consideration, there's obviously going to be a lot of back and forth going on, whether it's through DMs or text messages or anything like that. We need to see the whole conversation.
You didn't even see one side of it. Do you know why? Because those text messages were recreated. They've got all the phones. They've got the phone records, but they had to recreate text messages from what she remembered. So everything you've seen in the news, everything you've seen on the internet, everything you've seen online is not his actual text messages. Those are recreated messages that she created to tell her story.
Yeah. Which in itself
is insane.
Yeah. And it's a very difficult, and
that's what we were given. And that's not what was explained to us. You have to go in and you have to read the fine print in all of the allegations.
Yep.
You
And
have to go
that
in and read
was,
the fine print.
and that was a big key point that that was mentioned very early on. If you go back to that
We've got the
individual
text
case,
messages that show,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Those aren't.
and yeah, and the whole thing was at the beginning of that whole documentation, which we went through in detail as it happened last year or whenever it was. It stated very early on that this is a manifestation or a manifest of everything that so and so recalled. It was a recollection of events that led up to her allegations against one Vincent Kennedy McMahon as it happened. It was a recollection of events as they occurred.
And
we
they
didn't.
recreated those messages instead of pulling them from phones, pulling them from a phone service, pulling them. Why? Because they want the shock and awe of, here's the evidence, he's guilty. Well, guess what? They are a news company. So in little tiny fine print, wherever you read any of this shit, it was recreated. Go back and look in the actual court documents. It will show you those were recreated messages. They are not authentic. They are recreated from her memory. Those messages were never made. That means that the news agencies that ran with this and all this stuff never bothered coming out and saying in bold print or even normal print, hey, guess what? These are not actual messages. These were recreations of the messages. This is how news works. This is what the news media does when they're like, and hey, listen, I'm not defending the motherfucker because God only knows what Vincent Kennedy McMahon gets up to in his off time. But to find that out and to find out that all of this smoke and mirrors, all of it was media induced hype bullshit to get their story going. This is the problem that we have.
Yeah.
So anyway, we've got one more that I want to hit on. One more story real quick. You want to talk about girl bosses crying? I cannot believe this is where we are at. I never imagined that we would see this, that this would ever manifest. But it has. And it has been downvoted to hell and back in the last 24 hours.
Get your popcorn ready.
Michelle Yeoh whines that women in Hollywood not even given the opportunity to try by John F. Trent over at Fandom Pulse. She just had the release of Star Trek Section 31 and the trailer, and it sucks absolute donkey dick. It's just one of those like,
this is horse cock. This is horse cock in a tiny mouth. that's
and then to hear this woman, I want to tell you something. She's had more movies than probably any actress in Hollywood today. She's been in more shit, and I'm blown away that this is where we're at. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about.
I just think it's I think it's almost comical that her name got attached to a franchise with a huge following, a huge history, a huge fan base, and she was thrown in there, given all this time to shine. She's, as stated here in this article, she's appearing in Wicked, which, regardless of how you feel about it, it's probably going to make money regardless. They'll probably make bank on it. Who knows? But to state when you're attached to a franchise who, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, has been nothing but progressive since the show was first conceptualized back in the 60s, you're going to say that women aren't even given an opportunity to try. I don't work for Hollyweird. I don't work for these clowns over there. So I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Maybe there's some dickhead behind a desk saying, nope, we need another man. Not going to do it. I don't know. I don't know if that's going on or not.
Let's see the how many times she was told no. She was in The Legend of Nezha. She was in The Owl versus Bumbo. Twinkle Twinkle Lucky Star, Yes Madam, Royal Warriors, Dynamite Fighters, Easy Money, Super Cop, Butterfly and Sword, The Heroic Trio, Holy Weapon, Heroic Trio 2, Super Cop 2, Tai Chi Master, Wing Chun, Wonder 7, The Stunt Woman, The Soong Sisters, Tomorrow Never Dies. Does anybody remember that? They said, no, we don't want a woman in a James Bond movie. Moonlight Express, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, a huge fucking movie.
No shit.
The Touch. You've got the touch. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Silverhawks. Silverhawks. I never heard of Silverhawks. Memoirs of a Geisha, Fearless, Far North, Sunshine, The Children of Wang Shi, The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. I never watched it because it absolutely blew donkey dick. Babylon AD, Purple Mountain, True Legend, Reign of Assassins, Kung Fu Panda 2, The Lady, Final Recipe, Strike Back, Marco Polo, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Sword of Destiny, Mechanic, Resurrection, Morgan, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Crazy Rich Asians, Master Z, The IP Man Legacy, Star Trek Short Treks, Last Christmas, Boss Level, Star Trek Discovery, Gunpowder Milkshake, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Everything Everywhere All at Once, one of the biggest movies of 2022. Minions, The Rise of Gru, Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hank, School of Good and Evil, The Witcher Blood Origin, American-Born Chinese, Transformers, Rise of the Beast, A Haunting in Venice, The Brother's Son, The Tiger's Apprentice, Ark the Animated Series, and Wicked. Tell me everyone's been telling her no.
So it's evident she's had a very long career. She has a very long list of a career and accredited films and projects. So what is she complaining about? That she's been told no one too many times? Are you upset? Is she upset that she didn't get leading roles? She wasn't offered more chances like that? I'll tell you what, maybe you're just not good enough.
This is from John F. Trent over at Fandom Pulse. As reported by the Hollywood Reporter, Yao made an appearance at the Red Sea International Film Festival in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and complained about the lack of power that women have in Hollywood. We just saw what women with power do in a lawmaker setting, a county board, and what they do to their interns. Do we really want them to have this power in Hollywood, despite major studios being driven into the ground by women, such as Kathleen Kennedy at Lucasfilm and Jennifer Salke at Amazon Studios? While discussing her numerous film projects, Slowly explained how she also touched on her battle for better female representation and more diversity, while urging Hollywood gatekeepers to do more to ensure opportunities for women and diversity.
I hate that word now.
Did I make that sound right?
I think you probably pissed a lot of people off with that one. I was just going to point out, we need more women in power. Let us prove ourselves. You know what? We've got one that's been trying to do that for 10 years at one of the biggest friggin' corporations this world has ever seen. And what happened from that? Millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars thrown right into the shitter because the woman in power shouldn't have been in power in the first place. Why? Because she hired more women and put them in more power, and they're tanking the fucking industry.
American Patriots Pat says, anybody else remember that California congresswoman who's forcing her male and female staffers to do sex stuff with her? Dude, they were all smoking a glass pipe. They were all smoking on that glass dick and passing it around and having a gay old time. And then they said she was forcing them to do stuff. Okay. Specifically, Yo stated, as storytellers, as filmmakers, especially as women, what we're saying is just give us opportunities. Let us prove ourselves. If we can't have a seat at the table because we are not capable, then that's one thing. But we're not even given a seat. Bitch, you've been given a seat for 4 decades. Since the 80s, you've been given a seat. We're not even given the opportunity to try. She continued. Open the gates and let us in.
Open your legs and shut up.
When has the door not been open?
It's always been open. It's always been open, from the likes of Linda Carter and Sigourney Weaver and Linda Hamilton, and the list goes on and on and on. Those ones proved themselves. They've been proving themselves since the beginning of the industry, way back since the goddamn silent era. It's always been there. And when you
women have been in Hollywood since day one. No one has ever kept them out, unless you are a dog or whatever. Yeah. Big Fontaine says, yeah, she's been in everything. Forgot she was in Tomorrow Never Dies. When I think of that movie, images of Terry Hatcher. Yum. Yeah. That's immediately who I think of as Terry Hatcher as well. So that's so racist. I love it.
Zero got a little.
I'm just trying to sound like her. I'm trying to do a pretty good impression.
Oh, hello, Mongolians. Welcome to Shitty Walk. Take your order, please.
Y'all's comments do not make a lick of sense at all.
What is that? What is that down there? Is that her by chance holding an Oscar in her hand?
Uh-huh. One need only look at Kathleen Kennedy and Jennifer Salke's literally leading film studios and choosing what projects can and should be greenlit and who's hired, by the way. And these two women have embraced the woke diversity agendas, and to the detriment of major franchises such as Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Lord of the Rings. Furthermore, women have been in Hollywood from that's exactly what we were saying from the very beginning. And as noted by Yao's credits, she had plenty of opportunities and arguably more than many male actors. See, this is why I went over her whole filmography earlier, which everything she's ever been in. She has had such a rich film career, and she's talking about the door being closed. I'm show Ronry, Dad and Ronry.
We're pissing off a whole country this morning.
Oh, I don't give a shit. Greetings, program. Greetings, brother.
Greetings, Daryl.
Greetings, brother.
Jack
the horse with pouch of Rari. No, not
Okay, so this is I'm gonna boil it all down here to one primordial soup of the problem I have with people like this. Let us prove ourselves. You know what? I have no problem with that. I want you to go out there and try to tell the best story you can in the best way you know how, that isn't forced by an agenda. I want you to do that. I want you to find success exploring your creativity and your options in that field. Go for it. But the problem we have, and it keeps going around, the same problem every single time, every time. And I've said this to everybody I've had this conversation with. I want people to be who they want themselves to be. I want them to be free to express themselves and do whatever it is they feel like doing that feels right to them. But ideology 101 of how to turn people against your cause is when you don't embrace your creativity. You put a principle behind it that you think is the be all end all of how things should be. When you act like an activist and try to force it down people's throats instead of trying to be creative and tell your own story, that's when you turn people against you. When you do all these things for better, for worse, for the wrong reasons, That's how you get people to disagree with you, because people don't like being told what to do all of the time. They don't like having their ideologist opinions forced down their throat. Oh, Zero, aren't you being a little hypocritical? You're doing the same thing that you say is wrong. No, there's a difference, because I want people to go out there and express themselves. I have no problem with that whatsoever. But when you turn people against your cause, when you start forcing people to think that your way is the only right way, that's where you go wrong. Everybody has an opinion. I understand that. This is just mine. I would gladly welcome someone else's opinion, but I'm not going to act like a child and get all offended and go on Twitter or X or on the internet and saying, no, my way is the only way. You're wrong. You're an incel. You're a bigot. That's where I start having the issues. Just be creative, do what you want to do, and don't go at it with an agenda. Because again, ideology 101 of how to turn people against your cause is by doing the same thing you're all doing right now. And when I say you, I mean the ones that are doing that very thing and sinking companies into the ground.
I've got a couple of things we got to get to before we hit Trigger's comment here. Old Gamer 72 Cutlass has gifted 2 Loki's Mornings of Mischief memberships. One of those memberships went to Awesome One. He was gifted a membership. The other one was gifted to Virtual Reality. Virtual Reality was gifted a membership by Old Gamer 72 Cutlass. Thank you, Old Gamer 72 Cutlass, brother, for bringing more members into the Viking Horde. This one is just for you new members. We're going to greet you with some row here. I'm Skull! And holy shit, the man, the myth, the legend, the brownie himself, Mexican Iron Man with a $9.99 super chat says, people of the internet, do not believe today's show. Loki is exposed. Since he was one of the first channels to have a darky co-host, hashtag Loki, I was woke before woke was cool.com.
Can we get a patent on that? Wouldn't that be great? I'm going to try.
I absolutely am good.
And right on the front page of Loki was woke before woke was cool.com is a great big fat picture of metrosexual Iron Man. Love you, buddy.
DJ Ronnie G says, go Loke or go woke. Project Cambridge says, and don't forget our weekly taco and lawn care combo deal. Buy 5 rabbit chicken tacos and get 10% off your next mowing and signed picture of Alf. Thank you. And Penny, big hug to Mike. And Adega Outlaw says a good morning to Mike. Thank you so very much, Mexican Iron Man, for your $9.99 super rant. You always keep the fires burning bright, Mike. And this one is just for you because you're you. Skull! Can't start today without jumping out the window with Mexican Iron Man. Good morning. Hell yeah. What do you mean I only get $2 million for this movie? I got $8 million for the last one. Well, you opened your mouth and said something stupid, costing us $200 million. So yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Trigger was one of the first people to respond to this. It says, how much more do they want? One thing she's right about, equality, women get more than men do. There isn't anywhere in Western society that women don't get treated equally. They get preference over a man in many cases. This is gaslighting bullshit. Why? Because often women use their assets to enhance. I'm
a pretty girl.
I'm a pretty girl. How many white guys say this trying to get into Bollywood productions over in India? You've been given the whole goddamn table. Fuck this gaslighting bullshit. From Blow-Eyed Scorpio.
Is that blue? Oh, I get it. Blue-Eyed Scorpio. Blue-Eyed.
Adam in H-Town, Texas. Well, another Houstonian. How you doing there, brother? Hasn't she been a lead actress in movies for over 30 years? Try 40. Way back in the 90s, she was co-starring in Police Story 3, Super Cop, and Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yeah.
How much more opportunity can they be given? They don't want diversity. They want exclusivity. That's exactly right.
Exactly.
And thank you, John F. Trent, for writing that article over at Fandom Pulse. Because holy shit, I'm just like, wow.
I still think it's hilarious. A whole hive mind with the opinion that's based on inclusiveness, yet the extremists of that populace are the most exclusive people I have ever seen in my life. It's their way or the highway. You're either one of us or you're out on your ass. Yep. You want to talk about inclusion? We can't, because you don't know how it works.
No, they absolutely do not.
But please let us prove ourselves. Yeah, we've been doing that for a very, very, very long time. Some of them
still bitching, which means that I'm just like, no. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Back in line. Get at the back of the line. Every time someone bitches about shit like this, from now on, I'm be like, get the back of the line. You know what, miss? I've had millions of opportunities. I've made millions of dollars in Hollywood. Get the fuck at the back of the line, bitch. How about all those actresses that haven't had a shot yet? How about all those actors that haven't had a shot yet? You know what? You want to sit there and bitch. And, oh, you have an open door to us because we women. No, bitch. You are annoying bitching about this, and no one wants to hear it anymore. Don't feed me this bullshit. Get in the back of the bus. Now people will be like, oh, you throw Chinese back of bus, you racist. No, I'm telling bitch get in the back of the bus because she's bitching when she's had more opportunity than damn near everybody out there trying to make it.
Yep.
Don't give me that shit.
Mm-hmm. So what are you chasing? I mean, is that the old school Hollywood addiction? Just clinging to the glimmer of hope that maybe you'll get that one role that just catapults you into the spotlight, gets you the big fat paychecks, makes you an A-lister, winning all the awards, taking the Oscars home, filling 14 fireplace mantles with all your gold statues. Man, if you're not there yet, try harder, learn how to be better, because there's a chance you're just not good enough. When people used to screen for leading roles in their films, they said, I want the best possible actor that I can get that won't need a lot of help from me because they're damn good at what they do. If you're not fitting that bill anymore, maybe you ought to think about that for a second.
So I'm just wondering who's pushing this regurgitated nonsense bullshit, because I guarantee you, and you can go back and look at yourself. Go back and look at the interview she did during Super Cop 3. She's like, I am just amazed I'm still here and I'm working with Jackie Chan and I'm getting to make this movie and I'm honored and I'm blessed. And that's the way these people used to talk, is I am honored and blessed to have been chosen to do this. I have such a great life that I can act for a living. I don't have to work my ass off and sweat in some factory or do this or that and the other. They used to be so grateful and so humble. And now it's like, you not give me enough. I want more. And we're like, how much more do you fucking want?
Yeah. Greed.
How much more do you want? How much more can you consume? It's almost like they're the government. It's almost like they're the United States government going, we want more. You give us more. And us go, no, we've given you enough. We have billions of dollars to send to Syria. Bitches, you can't fix this shit wrong here. Mm-hmm. Don't be sending money there if you can't fix this shit here.
Yep.
This is the stupid bullshit that place where we're at today. Is, give me enough. I want more. When you've had all these opportunities and you've been in all these movies and you've had this wonderful life of traveling, moving around, acting. That's your job, is you get to act. You get to pretend to be someone else. and then you come out and you say you haven't been given enough opportunity. Suck a fucking cock, lady. How about that? Go to Thailand and meet a girl boy and do that and see how well that works out for you and how well their lives are going and how they make a living. And then come back and talk to me about how tough and hard your life is and how doors are open for you. No.
Yeah. That's one of the biggest loads of horse shit I think you will ever find, because there's no way, there's absolutely no way, when you've been in that many films and projects. She already has. Yeah. I give him job and then he gave me job. Yeah. When you've had that many opportunities, when your filmography is that fucking long, and you're probably sitting on bank right now, you never have to work a day in your life ever again.
She never has to work a day in her life ever again.
And it's not just her. It'd be anyone in that position. The
reason why she's doing shit is because she's under contract to do shit. She doesn't have to do shit.
Yeah. And there is absolutely no way. And The Rock means no way that I will ever sympathize with someone who is in a position like that, sitting on a pile of cash saying, give us more, give me more. I want more opportunities. I want more of this. No, you've got enough. There is no way I'm going to take your begging seriously.
Keely Chow's actors are nothing more than adult pretenders. Gary Beegler of Nerdrotic. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. That's the way it was. And that's the way it will be.
Yeah. That's just the way it is.
Because Stone Cold Loki said so. Holy shit. We're over time.
We went a little over.
We went a little over, man. A little over, man. Is Makani on this morning? Is he doing his thing? I don't know. I'm about to check.
I haven't seen him plugging this morning, so maybe not. I don't know. So we went a little over.
Nope, he's not live. It doesn't say he's live.
Forward your complaints to our lawyers. We will put it on the internet for public domain, and then you'll be hearing back from our attorneys.
Yeah, while driving my semi through blizzards and tornadoes. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, I don't know how I'm going to survive the pandemic when I've only got $400 million in the bank and I can't find a job for the next several months. Bitch, I worked through the whole fucking thing. Don't give me that shit.
So we're getting out of here, guys. Take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend to enter. And thank you all for watching, for being part of Valhalla. Merry Christmas, everybody. I can't wait to do.
That's going to be great.
Christmas in Valhalla.
What day is Christmas this year?
Fuck if I know.
That is, that's a Wednesday.
That is a Wednesday. Holy shit, it's a YouTube talk day.
Stay tuned.
We're out of here, guys. Be great. Be excellent to each other. Have a great one. Take care. Always do what culture says. Always wash your hands. Be a good polar bear. Don't get eaten by one. And we're gone. Bye. Goodbye.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.